World champion Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Truist. Once again on a glorious Saturday night in Miami, the suddenly hot Braves go for their 5th consecutive win and a doubleheader sweep. Ian Anderson is on the mound for the Braves, who look to gain even more ground on the first-place Mets in the Eastern Division. Hi again, everybody. Chip and Jeff. Great start to the doubleheader. Braves won at 5-2. Kyle Muller was terrific. The offense provided him with a big cushion. And tonight, Jeff, an important start for Ian Anderson. One good, one bad in his last 2 outings. To keep the momentum going in the right direction, Ian's got to come up big tonight.
Yeah, well, between Kyle and Ian, both of them were kind of the same guy coming to this game. You got to throw strikes. You got to control the zone. And 2 starts ago, that's what Ian Anderson did against the Diamondbacks. Then he came into Queens last weekend and had trouble throwing strikes. You see 4 walks and 4 2/3. And really with Ian, we know the stuff's there. We saw it all last October in the postseason. He's got swing and miss stuff. He can pitch to contact. The key is he has to do it. This is a Marlins team that has not scored a lot of runs lately. You'd love to see him take that same blueprint you saw Kyle do the first game, attack the strike zone, get early contact, and then let this Braves offense go to work against the pen of the Marlins here.
Yeah, the Marlins have scored 3 runs or less in 13 straight games, and in Game 2, the Braves face Tommy Nance. He's making his first Major League start in what will be a bullpen game for the Marlins. It's Game 2. Let's go for a doubleheader sweep on Bally Sports here in Miami.
We welcome you back to Miami. It's Game 2 of our twin bill this evening between the Braves and Marlins, and Atlanta with a chance to take this series here after winning the first 2 games against the Fish. And one of the trends we've been talking about with the Braves all season long is their production, right? Up and down the lineup. When it comes to RBI, almost identical, whether we're talking 1 through 3, 4 through 6, or 7, 8, 9. And the last couple games, what we've really noticed is in the 8 and 9 spots in the lineup, it is the new kids on the block getting it done, and boy, has it been fun to watch. Whether it was Grissom and Harris in the first game of the series or just this afternoon in the first game of our doubleheader, it was Chadwick Trump and Harris getting it done. Here's a look. Grissom and Harris, they combined 3 for 6, 3 runs and 2 RBI in that first game. You're looking at their individual numbers, but then it was Trump and Harris this afternoon. 4 for 7, a run, and 4 RBI. That right there, yes. The young guns getting it done. And we'll see more of it in the nightcap here tonight. Grissom in the 8 hole, and it will be Harris in the 9 hole. But it has been a lot of fun, and it will be Ian Anderson on the mound as we continue here a Saturday night on South Beach. And it is always festive, always fun, and we will have you covered right here on Bally Sports. Thanks for being with us here this evening.
Brought to you by Georgia Natural Gas. Live the greener life. And by Kaiser Permanente.
We welcome you back to Miami and Marlins Park, where Ronald Acuna Jr. and the Braves are streaking. They have won their last 4 games in a row, and they've had great success, as you know, here at Lone Depot Park, where they have gone 61-30 in the last 91 games in the Marlins Dome Stadium. The Toyota starting lineup, pretty much what you'd expect in Game 2 of a doubleheader. Swanson, Riley, Olsen, all Ironmen on the infield. William Contreras back behind the plate. What a job Chadwick Trump did in Game 1 for the Braves. And a special challenge for this offense, Jeff, which has been flying high over the last 4 games. It's a bullpen game for the Marlins, and tonight Tommy Nance will make his first Major League start and pitch in his 47th career game.
Yeah, as you said, it's going to be a bullpen game. He's got 2 starts in 5 minor league seasons. Both have been rehab starts this year in Jupiter, totaled 4 innings. And that's his first career MLB start. As you said, though, he's averaging 10.8 hits per 9 innings. So hopefully you can see this Atlanta offense get after him early.
The Braves have seen him before. He's given up 2 runs in 2 innings in relief against the Atlanta Ball Club. So Tommy Nance will take aim at the Braves, who start play at the moment 5.5 games behind the Mets in the National League East. The Mets and Phillies are about to start their ball game up in New York City. So with the Braves looking for a sweep, Jeff, in the double dip tonight in Miami, what are your forward keys?
Like I said, it's a bullpen game. Get some early runs, really force Don Mattingly to kind of go off script. And you know what? For Ian Anderson, make it 14. This Marlins team now, Chip, in 13 straight games have scored 3 runs or less. Make it 14. I have a feeling you're going to get a W.
It is a much more festive atmosphere for Game 2. After all, it is Dominican Republic Heritage Night here in South Florida. And they've got a big crowd. Folks are dancing in the aisles, banging the drums, blowing the whistles. They're going to have a great time tonight as the world champions visit the Marlins in Game 3 of this 4-game series. So Ronald will stand in. He's had a great road trip for Atlanta as he gets his night start. Let's check out who's been hot. That's brought to you by Texas Pete.
Well, it's been Ronald against the Marlins. We all know how well he's done against them. You see that OPS, over 1,100, scored 18 runs, and of course hit just a clip under 400.
Well, how about a leadoff homer? That would be a nice way to start the game. Ronald has 25 of those. 2 have come in the 2022 season. Ronald 2 for 9 so far in the series. And we have to wait for one of the guards to close the Braves bullpen gate in right. And now we are set to go with Game 3. Swing, drive, center field deep. 1 pitch, 1-0.
Well, that didn't take long. We showed you those numbers. First pitch wasted no time. Oh, going right back over the heart of the plate. Goodbye.
Third leadoff homer for Ronald Acuna Jr. and the Braves off to a great start. Ronald now in double digits in homers for the Braves. His blistering road trip continues. That's his 16th hit.
I thought we'd get some early runs. I didn't know on the first pitch.
That ball was absolutely destroyed. Into the fake ivy in center field. And Ronald continues to punish the Marlins. His 22nd career home. That's home run against them more than any other opponent. And if LeBron is watching, he's going to like that. .442 happy feet, Jeff.
Yeah, 108.5 off the bat.
So Ian Anderson will have a lead before he throws a pitch tonight. And he has been the best run supported pitcher on the Braves staff this year. Now Swanson with a 2-2 count here in the top of the first inning. Strike 3 over the outside corner, says Nestor Ceja. And Dansby is the first out. Austin Riley riding a 5-game hitting streak for the Braves. He's 2 for 9 in the series. Riley with 30 homers. He's driven home 74. Man, the fans have hardly had a chance to get settled in their seats. And the ballpark got loud with Acuna on the first pitch of the game.
That happened quick.
Riley had a good cut and fouls it back. Austin had a hit in the first game of our doubleheader today, a fourth inning single. Riley really had a terrific game defensively at third base, which was helpful in a 5-2 Atlanta win.
That's the thing. You get the Mets Phillies playing tonight. Let them kind of beat each other up. This is exactly what good teams do, Chip. When a team's struggling, you have to take advantage of that. Win the ball game.
Yeah, you win, you're going to gain ground on
somebody. Absolutely.
So a ball and 2 strikes from Tommy Nance, and Riley didn't get that.
I'll say this, though. He has not shied away from his fastball after that home run. Got Dansby looking on the outside corner, and he's come kind of challenge Austin here with 2 fastballs.
No swing. And Riley is still alive here in the Braves' first inning. This Atlanta offense has been flying high since July 1st. They have scored 5 runs or more in 17 of their 37 games played. Only the Dodgers have had more games of 5 or more runs than the Braves. And as you said, you get 4 or 5, that might be too many for the Marlins to try to counter, as they have struggled. The pitch is up and out of play, foul. Got to be proud of the way the Braves came down to Miami and won yesterday. Quiet crowd after all the drama and excitement in New York and Fenway Park. They made their own adrenaline rush. And tonight with a lively park, the Braves lead again. And Riley takes ball 4, a 1-out walk in front of Matt Olson.
Again, if you can really, what you want to do when there's a bullpen game. So Don Mattingly's got to, in a perfect world, this is what I'm doing. You know, maybe 5, 6 guys for 9 innings. And, you know, if you can knock the first guy out or get him at least out an inning sooner, a hitter, you start to mess that up. And the more you can do that, well, you really make it tough for a bullpen game.
Swinging a shot headed for the right field corner. That ball is just foul. It hooked at the last moment for Matt Olson. Riley would have scored on that play. Instead, it's a long, loud strike. Matt's had a productive series against the Marlins. He's hit homers in back-to-back games, including one off Jesus Luzardo in the 5th inning in Game 1. That one went the other way. And they give him the whole third base line here in the Braves' first.
Kind of like Boston, you know, did a great job of getting some of those starters out. They forced them Tuesday night to throw 5 innings in the bullpen, and eventually, like you said, yeah, you might have 1 or 2 guys on. Very rarely do you have 4 or 5 guys that are on the same night.
Yeah, that's the danger of the bullpen game. 1-1 pitch. Olson swung at ball 2, and he's down to his last strike here in the first inning. That's reached base in 30 of his last 37 games for the Braves. He's got Riley at first with 1 out. And he's struck out top of the zone. So 2 strikeouts for Nance in the first inning.
What happens on that one? Everything Matt saw was in, and all of a sudden you saw it up and tailing a little bit, and he got the call.
William Contreras was the Braves DH in Game 1. He singled and scored. He's behind the plate in the nightcap.
Kelly mentioned it on the open, but what a job Chadwick Trump did this afternoon.
3 hits, 3 RBIs, and basically was playing with one leg after the 4th inning. And went the distance behind the plate.
Would have had 3 doubles.
Yeah.
Had he been able to run.
And it was so important for him to manage the pain, if you will, knowing that Travis d'Arnaud's not quite ready to go yet for the Braves. It's hopeful that Travis will be set when we get back to Atlanta Monday. That's been the story of this team. Next man up.
Yeah.
And Trump was terrific. Pitch is upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. You missed it. Kyle Muller started game 1 for the Braves. Went 5 innings, 2 runs. He got the win. Kenley Jansen picked up his 26th save for the Braves. And so Atlanta now 69-46 on the year. Have a 5-4 road trip. You win tonight, you win tomorrow, you head home 7-4. After the struggles against the Mets in the opening series up at Citi Field. A swing and a miss. Nance struck out the side, but one pitch got things going with a big bang for the Braves. Ronald Acuna Jr. with his 3rd leadoff homer of the year and his 10th overall gives Atlanta a 1-0 lead here in the 1st. Half of inning number 1. Now the Marlins with Joey Wendell leading off will try to get their offense started. Their Toyota starting lineup, as Jeff said, has really struggled. 13 straight games of 3 or fewer runs, and it goes even further than that, Jeff. 29 of their last 39 have been 3 or less.
That's tough on the pitching staff, and why a run was so important early. This is the man right here tonight that you want to see attack the strike zone. We talked about the job Kyle Muller did in that first game of not pitching behind but pitching ahead. We saw that from Ian Anderson 2 starts ago against the Diamondbacks. Last time pitched behind a lot and kind of labored.
And there's a promising start for Anderson. It's always important to note with Ian, it's walks.
Yep.
Pitching behind, as you said, but the end result too. 53 walks in 105 innings. That's too many base runners. Let's see how he fares with Joey Wendell. And quickly 0-2. It really has been for Anderson a tale of 2 starts that sums up his year, Jeff. The game against Arizona, it was like, all right, here we go. He's ready to take off. But struggled mightily up in New York after he was given an 8-0 lead.
That was the thing we thought there for sure. He's going to attack.
Threw his breaking ball a lot more against the Diamondbacks than he did against the Mets. Fastballs here to Wendell. There's 2 for 5 so far in the series. And now 2-2. Wendell, an all-star with the Tampa Bay Rays. First year with the Marlins, hitting .265. And that one popped toward third. Riley retreats, and Wendell, an awkward swing, is retired. Good start for Anderson. 1 man down.
You know, I was interested coming into this game tonight with Ian after, he was been optioned at AAA, obviously getting the start here today, but if he'd have almost like the, I don't really give a what attitude and go out there and just pitch.
Well, that's what he said before the Arizona start.
Yeah. And he did. He had that look. We talked how he attacked. That was the best I saw him throw his fastball all year versus the Diamondbacks.
So he faces Brian Anderson, the Marlins right fielder. Anderson will play exclusively in the outfield for the Fish because of recurring shoulder problems. Anderson 4 home runs, I beg your pardon. And one of them came against the Braves. 3 balls, no strikes for Anderson, with Jesus Aguilar waiting on deck. Rays wearing their road blue tops. The Marlins with their alternate crimson jerseys. Reminiscent of the Miami Sugar Kings. As that swung on and missed, full count. Let's see if Ian can come all the way back in this matchup of Andersons. He can't. A base hit into left center field. Over quickly is Rosario, and Bryant Anderson with a long single. He's the first Miami base runner, his 3rd hit of the series, and Aguilar is up with a man aboard and 1 out.
You know, like anything though, I'd rather see that. I'd rather see him challenge him. Look, he made a good swing, but you made him earn his way on.
Aguilar responsible for Miami's 2 runs in game 1. A 2-run homer in the 4th inning. He hit it right down the line in left. And he gets ahead with strike 1. Ian's had 9 double plays turned behind him this year. This would be a good spot for number 10. Something else to keep an eye on with Anderson. Pitch counts. Takes him some time to settle into games every now and then. He's averaging over 18 pitches per inning. He's up to 14 now as he faces Miami's number 3 hitter. And he's fallen behind again.
Good fastball.
And he's got a good one, Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
So he's back in the count, 3-2. We'll see if Anderson runs. Braves lead 1-0 on an Acuna leadoff home run. Not going. And fouled away. Aguilar leads the Marlins offense in strikeouts. Ian would love one right here with a payoff pitch. But Jesus is fighting hard here. Aguilar, the only Marlin in double digits with home runs on their active roster. Into center. That's going to get down for another hit. So he went 3-2 to Anderson and Aguilar. Both Marlins hitters reach with singles. And 2 men are aboard with 1 out, and J.J. Bleday is coming up.
job by Aguilar pulling those hands in. Kind of jammed him a little bit, but strong enough to kind of throw that out there.
Bleday is 0 for the series to this point. He's getting his first look at Ian Anderson tonight. Young man out of Vanderbilt's hit into 2 double plays. And Ian falls behind again. 1 ball, no strikes. In the air towards center. Harris broke back, but look at his speed to recover. And no advance of the runners. Bleday pops out off the end of the bat. Michael Harris continues his good work in center pasture, and that's the 2nd out.
You can see him go back a little bit, but then plenty fast enough to make up that speed. Coming in.
So a hot hitter is up for Miami. Charles Leblanc out of Laval, Quebec in Canada. He had a base hit and a stolen base in game 1. He's reached base in all 12 games he's played in the big leagues with Miami. And enters with a .405 average. He's playing third base tonight. Two and 0. The Braves shift for LeBlanc. 3 defenders left side of the infield here in the first. There's a good one. 2 and 1.
Well, that's the thing. Some of these Marlins hitters like him have never seen, Ian at all. So if he can get ahead, you see how that changeup, you got an easy 2-0 swing on that pitch.
On the ground, right to third. Riley's got it, and Anderson is out of first inning trouble. The Marlins get a couple of hits, but strand both runners. Braves lead 1-0. Valley Sports is presented by Truist. Kelly Kroll down by the Atlanta dugout. Chip and Jeff with you upstairs here at Lone Depot Park. Braves lead 1-0. First pitch of the game was rifled to straightaway center field by Ronald Acuna Jr. And now here in the second, Eddie Rosario, Marcell Ozuna, and Vaughn Grissom are coming up.
Yeah, Nance had 3 strikeouts that first inning besides that first inning home run. Got one on a sinker to Dansby, got Olsen with a fat 4-seamer up, and then got Contreras with that slider away. But again, you got to imagine this probably is going to be his last inning before they turn to the next body in the bullpen.
Tell you this, Tommy Nance will never forget his first big league start, will he?
No. Got loud quick.
So Eddie Rosario is up at the plate. 2 for 4 is he in this series. Eddie's average is climbing slowly. 186, not much to speak of, but Jeff, as you know, when you think about where he started with the eye troubles in the first several weeks, he's really done good work of late. And he's knocked in 5 runs in 24 at-bats on the road trip. He does have a homer. And a 2-0 pitch.
Good eye.
Nance was an undrafted player out of Santa Clara University, and here he is in the major leagues. Don't you love stories like that?
Yep. Keep working.
Lifted toward left and right at Burdick, and Peyton is over a step or two and makes the catch. Eddie Rosario's retired. There's the first out. And here's Marcell Ozuna. Ozuna is in his longest slump of the season. Marcell, 2 hits in his last 32 at-bats. He's better than that.
Well, we showed you that clip last night to me in a game when he had that 2-1 count. He got a fastball a little bit out over the plate, maybe a tad away, but a strike. And that front side just flew wide open. And we said 2 years ago, when he hit 328, he was wearing out up the middle the other way. He's so strong, he doesn't have to pull the ball.
Ozuna, as you recall, played many a year for the Marlins. 50 career homers here at Lone Depot Park.
When you can see the way they pitched him from the Mets to the Red Sox here, everything is away. And if anything's in, it's off the plate to show. And if you start showing again, you'll go up, up the middle the other way. Then what happens? That opens back to that inside, which is where Marcell wants you to come. See again here, outside part.
That's got to be frustrating when you know what they're trying to do to you.
Yep.
And you still can't get where you want to go.
It's tough.
Marcell did not play in Game 1 for the Braves and is looking for his first hit of this series. Tommy Nance ready with a 2-2 pitch. No swing. It's a 3-2 count. Vaughn Grissom will be the next hitter. And a swing and a miss. Ozuna's down on strikes. I should say 4 of the 5 outs by Nance have been strikeouts.
And here's another example of that fastball we talked about. This is on the outer part of the plate. And because you're flying open, it just beats you to the spot.
So Vaughn Grissom is the hitter. He was 0 for 4 in Game 1, but did reach on a force play and scored a run in his 3rd consecutive big league game to start his career. Andres Thomas, the last Brave to do that in his rookie season way back in 1985. So Vaughn's off to a nice start and is hitting .273 on the year. towering fly ball into shallow left. And the grab is made by Joey Wendell.
Wow.
Burdick lost that one, and Wendell saved him at shortstop, and the Braves are retired in order in the second.
Bottom two we go. It is 1-0 Braves over the Marlins here. Ian Anderson threw 25 pitches in that opening frame, and it's been a strange week for Anderson. When he found out on Wednesday in Boston that he was going to be optioned, he's remained with the team through the rest of the trip and kind of gone through his side work as he normally would, knowing that this doubleheader was coming, guys, and that he was going to be the 27th man. But it also allowed us a chance to talk to Ian in Boston, and you know, he handled it with the level head that you would imagine, saying it's tough, but he understands the business side, knows he hasn't pitched his best. What he's really hoping is that he goes down there and gets right very quickly and comes back here knowing that he's been told he's a big part of this and that they have to get him right. So I also wanted to say that in getting to catch up with Kyle Wright a little bit, right? He's a guy that went through this, understands what Ian's feeling right now, and he said, you know, the toughest part about that is just coming to grips with the fact that you're going down. And he goes, I think Ian's already there, and he just wants to get right. And that's already putting him ahead of the curve in that sense. So I thought it was good advice from Kyle, as well as saying, let's not forget how young he is.
Good call, Kelly. And when you think about it, yeah, lean on Kyle Wright. He's a guy that spent almost a whole year at AAA last year, you know, and kind of switched spots with Ian this year. So I think we all know the stuff Ian has for him is, like you said, mechanically getting sound where he can, as Rick Kranitz tells me, repeat his delivery.
And the plate a little low to Jacob Stallings.
It's a pretty good pitch.
Whew. Stallings 3 for 4 in this series. Another deep count for Ian Anderson, who had back-to-back 3-2 counts to Brian Anderson and Jesus Aguilar in the first. This one tapped to short. Dansby charges, got the hop he wanted. And a perfect throw for out number 1. I think it underscores, Jeff, just how hard it is to be successful in the major leagues. Not every player who comes up gets here and stays here. It's been said for 150 years in the game, it's very hard to get to the major leagues. But it's harder to stay.
100%. You know, everybody's going to go through their struggles. Just because he was brilliant in October doesn't necessarily mean it translates all the time. You know, you think about the first inning, 2 of 5 hitters, first pitch strike, something that we've seen him struggle with. So I think, as Kelly said, for Ian, as he got ahead there to Diaz, he knows he's got to be able to be consistent. That's the big thing.
This is Lewin Diaz. The Marlins really like him as a first baseman. He has yet to make an error for the Marlins, with whom he's played in 3 separate stints. Diaz hit 19 homers at AAA Jacksonville. There's a good pitch. It's 2-2. Hit toward right center, but no carry to that. Easy can of corn for Ronald Acuna. And just like that, Ian Anderson has back-to-back outs, and Peyton Burdick is your hitter.
Well, that count was 2-2, so, you know, all of a sudden you're able to get him out front on an off-speed pitch.
Peyton Burdick, the 10th best-rated Marlins prospect. He's picked up a couple of hits in this series. Was 0 for 2 in the opening game today. 1-0 Braves, and Acuna leadoff homer. Indians making competitive pitches. They're just not chasing them yet. So tip your cap to the Marlins as Anderson readies for his 40th pitch of the game. 25 of them came in the first inning. Right at the shortstop. Ian Anderson has his first 1-2-3 inning. He's starting to settle in. He's retired 5 men in a row. Harris, Acuna, and Swanson look to add to the Braves' lead. A first inning lead. And this blast our T-Mobile coverage camp.
And fastball, first pitch of the game, right back over the heart of the plate. No doubter, dead center into the ivy.
So Acuna continues to punish the Marlins. 22 career homers against them. He's due second. First things first, though, it's Michael Harris, who's got 6 hits over his 4-game hitting streak. Michael doubled in game 1, scored a run, and stole a base. Ryan Snitker uses a term, and it's a great compliment. This kid's starting to look like a boring pro.
Yeah.
Right? And that's not to say he's not an exciting player. You're just almost surprised if he has an 0 for game.
Yeah.
He does so many good things at the plate and in the field. And what a great security blanket for Vaughn Grissom, his teammate at AA, to help welcome him to the show and show him the ropes.
You really think the team really kind of jump-started when he got up here. He was kind of a lightning rod. And, you know, for the Braves the last 4 years, I'd say one of the best things year in, year out is the defense of this team. Infield defense, of course, this year has been outstanding. First month and a half, 2 months, the outfield defense was not what we were used to seeing from this Atlanta Braves squad. And that kind of changed when he went center field. You're able to move Ronald to right field. All of a sudden, Duvall goes from, you know, a center fielder to one of the best left fielders in game. Obviously, he's out for the year, but Rosario and Grossman still very good in left field.
On the ground to second, and Harris busts it down the line, but he's retired for out number 1. Tommy Nance has set down 6 straight. Now he gets his second matchup with Ronald Acuna. So Acuna's second home run of the road trip. First was against Carlos Carrasco up in New York on August 5th. He's now up to 10 of them on the season. Two and 0.
Being much more careful this second time around.
Don't be too careful, because he might be in scoring position in the blink of an eye. The pitch. And he's one more wide one from taking first. Nance making his first big league start. His 47th career game. He's down a run and behind in the count to Acuna. 3 balls, no strikes. He had the green light and fouled it away. So much to be excited about for the Braves as we move into the middle of August. As that got Stallings flush. What has to have you excited for the Braves is Ronald is looking like himself, not just at the plate, Jeff, but the throw he made in game 1.
Yeah, that got to it, was able to cut it off and flat-footed, put it on the money.
Throughout Joey Wendell, who tried to double to lead off the 8th inning. 3 balls and a strike. The full count pitch. He fought that off and into the drum section off to our right. We had 7,000 fans here for game 1. We maybe have doubled that here for game 2. And look at that happy fan with a souvenir.
Good for him.
Awesome. Acuna takes strike 3.
Nance Credit coming back. He just buckled him. Got down 3-0 and pitches way back into the count.
So 2 2/3 innings for Nance. He has struck out 5 Braves hitters. And here's Dansby. He took strike 3 his first time up. Dansby's cooled a bit on the road trip at the plate. And that one is poked foul down the right field line. Strike 1. One of the things you love about the Braves infield, those guys play virtually every inning of every day. And you know, Swanson doesn't want to take himself out of the lineup. He is 7 for 39 at the plate on the road trip. But he's played sensational defense, which is what you love. When things aren't going well at the plate, you don't take that out to the field.
No, we've never seen him do that all the years here in Atlanta. Even when he's struggled, he's always played sound defense.
Eight o'clock in Miami. Braves lead 1-0. 3rd inning, game 2. Sharply hit and through. There you go, Dansby. A 2-out hit. If he stood in the batter's box with 2 outs and 2 strikes, Jeff, I'll bet he'd hit 400. It's amazing.
He does not mind getting deep into counts, hitting with 2 strikes, and here, even with the shift, was able to hit it hard enough to sneak it through.
So his first hit of the series sets it up for Austin Riley. The Braves third baseman walked his first time up. Atlanta with 2 hits. Miami with 2 hits. Nance doesn't appear to be overpowering, but he must be doing something that's hard for the Braves hitters to pick up.
Agreed. It's kind of getting on him.
Riley putting together an MVP caliber season for the Braves. 30 homers, 74 driven in. I mentioned a 5-game hitting streak is in play as Dansby starts and then stops from first. This very impressive run for Atlanta since the 1st of June. The Braves have just dazzled with 2 outs. Atlanta scored 230 runs with 2 outs this year. That is most in the National League. And fouled away into the Marlins dugout. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Austin Riley is our American Family Insurance Dream Fearlessly feature.
23 of the 25 games reached base safely against the NL East. 16 extra base hits. He has piled those up this year.
He's got a 2-2 count. Dansby takes off, and Riley swings and misses, and that's 6 strikeouts for Nance through 3 innings of work. But he's on the short end of a 1-0 game thanks to an Acuna leadoff homer.
Braves Baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. And by the Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day.
Beautiful day in South Florida here for Game 2 of our doubleheader. The Braves enjoy a 1-0 lead. Luke Williams, the 9th place hitter, will lead off. Ian Anderson, 40 pitches through 2 innings. 23 fastballs, 11 strikes before that first one to the Marlins second baseman.
You know, 2 good fastballs to start. Like seeing that, especially from the 9-hole hitter.
And he's ahead.
Yeah.
0-2. Williams hitting .253. A homer, 6 RBIs. He began the year with the Giants. And Anderson strikes him out. There's a good start. Leadoff man is out. Anderson's retired 6 in a row, and we go back to the top of the order.
Good pitch there, down in the zone. Again, he got ahead, was able to go to work, and you get the swing and miss.
Wendell popped up his first time, so he is 0 for 1 tonight. No swing on a ball 3 feet in front of the plate. Anderson making his 9th career start against the Marlins. He leads 1-0. Well, you can really hear the soundtrack of this ball game in the background.
Let me tell you, when they had the World Baseball Classic in March here, and you got Puerto Rico, Venezuela, Dominican, this place is going to be on fire.
I love it.
Oh, it's great. I remember in spring training, I think it was 09. Remember Venezuela, Dominican, all them played at Orlando down there. We had spring training, and it was awesome.
2 balls and a strike. Wendell didn't get that. Ian back even, 2-2. Well, the Dominican Republic, a proud nation, has provided the 2nd highest total of major league players behind the United States. At the start of the season this year, roughly 11% of all players have come from the Dominican Republic on big league rosters this year. And they are having a great time tonight at Lone Depot Park. Another deep count for Ian. 3-2 pitch. He is rolled out of play. Pitch number 51 is cut on and missed. Anderson came back to get Wendell. Back-to-back strikeouts, and he set down 7 straight.
Good changeup by Ian. Got Wendell way out front. Could have drawn one up better.
So Brian Anderson is the hitter. Anderson got to a full count on the Miami right fielder, and Brian singled up the middle. Oh, 0-2.
Filling up the zone here for the most part this inning.
On the ground, Dansby awaits the hop. And the peg to first is in time. Ian Anderson is on a very nice roll. He has set down 8 straight Marlins, and he enjoys a 1-0 lead. Move to inning number 4. Fans, the MLB Ballpark app. Complete your next visit to Truist Park. Buy and manage game tickets, unlock offers, access exclusive content, and more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Well, Tommy Nance tonight made his first major league start. For A.J. Ladwig, Jeff, this is his first big league appearance.
Talk about coming into facing a tough Atlanta Braves lineup. Appeared in 1 game with AAA Toledo and 12 games in AA Pensacola this year, going 4.85 ERA.
So Matt Olson homers in back-to-back games. Let's check out where they went.
They'll split the gaps. Went kind of right center last night, and then today off Luzardo. Beautiful swing. Dropped the bat head on a fastball. Lined it into the Clevelander.
Well, you can only imagine the emotions of A.J. Ladwig. Facing the world champions. And Olson greets him with a rocket down the line that just curled foul again. That's 2 of those.
Say 2 tonight that have missed by a couple feet.
And with 36 doubles on the year. 23 homers, 72 RBIs. Back out of play, foul. I know you remember your first big league game against the Cubs. It had to seem like a blur early, didn't it?
Oh yeah. Well, because everything just starts to happen so fast, and like you said, the good ones can make the game slow down real quick. That's what's been the most impressive thing with Harris to me since his first start facing Sandy Alcantara. He's really just slowed the game down. Been really consistent.
Huge hole left side for Matt with nobody on or out. And he tried to fill it. Good approach. Foul ball left side. This time it's still 1-2. Matt's on pace to get over 80 extra base hits and 80 walks. We'll take either one of those results here. It's 2-2. Hit right into the shift. And Olson will be retired for out number 1. So William Contreras is up before he tries to extend the Braves lead. Here's a quick word from Zaxby's.
Try Zaxby's Chicken Finger Plate with tongue torch, Zax sauce, or any of our sauces.
Contreras struck out in the Braves first. Atlanta, if you're just joining us, got a first pitch leadoff homer from Ronald Acuna Jr. tonight. That's the only run that's scored. Ian Anderson has set down 8 straight on the mound. This one softly hit to the second base bag, and Luke Williams kicks it into shallow left field. And Contreras will wisely hold on with 1 out here in the 4th inning. We'll see how they score that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one that if he makes that play, I would think that's going to be an error on the second baseman.
And it is. So the Braves have a gift base runner here in the 4th inning with 1 out. Eddie Rosario, the batter, he flied out to left.
They gave it a base hit, changed it.
Okay, cool. William will gladly take that. His third hit of the series. Lewin Diaz holds Contreras at first. He's 2 out of 2 at steals, in case you think about sending him. And the Marlins want to make sure with 1 out. Another squibber, this time right at the bag, and Williams steps on the pillow and completes the double play. So Mr. Ladwig is in the show, a scoreless first major league inning.
Your local Ford dealer. Delta Airlines, keep climbing. And by Truist, when you start with care, you get a different kind of bank.
Another one of the beautiful causeways here in Miami, Florida, where the Braves lead 1-0. It's been a pleasant trip to Marlins Park, now called Lone Depot Park. Jeff, that's our Synovus Get There feature tonight.
You see the last 3 seasons, the Braves really have played great down here in Miami, averaging just under 5 runs a game, 22 home runs, and a solid 3.34 team ERA.
One more game in this series tomorrow. We do have one more visit to Miami.
Last 3 games of the year.
And those could be hugely important games as the Braves try to chase down the Mets, who lead the Phillies, by the way, tonight 1-0. Nola and DeGrom at Citi Field. Ian Anderson on a nice roll. He's retired 8 straight. And all of a sudden, Jeff, after that 25 pitch first inning, Ian's done a much better job of getting ahead in the count.
Far pounding that zone, only 55 pitches now. I'd say when he gets ahead like that, he's able to get guys to expand. That's a curveball there to Aguilar.
Anderson's changeup has gotten him 4 outs. 2 of them via strikeout. Let's see what he does here. It's cut on and missed. Aguilar is retired, and that's 9 in a row for Anderson. Retired, 3 on strikeouts. It sounds easy to do. It's obviously not, but we've talked about it a lot. The difficulty a hitter faces in a major league game when you're down that first strike.
All right, down 1 strike, and when you're down 0-2, 1-2, then it just becomes so much more difficult, especially with his changeup.
J.J. Bleday's choked up, and he's going to roll into the shift. Riley's got it, got rid of it fast, and Bleday quickly out number 2, and it's 10 straight retired by Anderson.
And only 5 pitches this inning.
So Charles LeBlanc is up. He grounded out to third his first time up. Strike one again. Charles with 14 hits in August. That's most among all rookies. And for a Marlins team that is struggling to score runs, if you hit, you're going to play.
Yes.
And he's done exactly that, hitting an even 400 on the season. Ian's not been in the stretch since the first inning. Let's keep it that way here in the fourth. The 3-2 pitch bounced up there, and LeBlanc will reach again. So he's on base in 13 straight big league games for Miami. And that is Anderson's first walk in the game and snaps his streak of 10 straight batters retired. Here's Stallings, the Marlins catcher. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out. Stallings is a Gold Glove receiver, hitting .214. Former Pittsburgh Pirate.
Yeah, offensively hasn't obviously had a great year, but Don Mattingly obviously loves him with this pitching staff down here in Florida.
He's got some strange offensive splits that I'll mention here in a second. 1 ball, no strikes. Three homers, 21 RBIs on the road. No homers, 5 RBIs in 40 home games.
Wow.
This is not the friendliest of hitters' parks. 2-0 pitch.
And he tried to hit his first home run here on that pitch.
In the air to right, not too deep. And Ronald is there and puts that away shoulder high. Anderson's retired. 11 of 12 batters. He's through 4 innings with a 1-0 lead. Ronald Acuna Jr. has scored the game's only run on a first pitch. The leadoff home run in the top of the first. Marcell Ozuna will start it off, then Vaughn Grissom and Michael Harris. Register for the Braves On Deck offer and get discounted ticket offers throughout the year. Fans get a text message every time the Braves go live with a new ticket offer. Register by texting Braves to 78030 to begin receiving exclusive access today. Marcelo for 1 in the game. And drives this ball toward right center field, and pretty well hit. Anderson on the run, won't get it. That's going to bounce high off the wall. And Ozuna with a right center approach will double to start the Atlanta 5th. That's what you've been looking for, Jeff.
Absolutely. Staying through it. That ball crept back over the middle of the plate, but look how powerful he is. For years we've seen Marcell as a Marlin down here and even as a Brave the last 2 years, be able to do that here. Stay through it, and you almost hit it out opposite field. You got a double.
His 14th of the year, and now the 8, 9, and 1 hitters will try to add on for the Braves against A.J. Ladwig, making his major league debut. He's allowed 2 hits in an inning plus. Vaughn Grissom popped up in his lone trip to the plate tonight. High fly ball, wallop left center field deep. That one is going to go way out of here. Second deck into left center. He ambushes. And the Braves lead 3-0.
Well, that was quick. Double to right center, got a first pitch hanger, 440. A hanging breaking pitch. Look at that, right into his power. And now he has scored a run in 4 straight games. Vaughn Grissom.
What did Kelly talk about? The 8, 9 hitters at the start of the broadcast tonight. What a great job they have done setting the table. They've done it again here in game 2 as Vaughn Grissom has his 2nd big league homer.
That was not a cheapie either.
Into center and right at J.J. Bleday. Harris is retired for the first out. You go into the 2nd deck in left center of this place. That is a missile. And here's Acuna. His 26th leadoff home run got the scoring party started tonight. So the Braves have 3. That's been the problematic number for the Marlins. Getting over that 3-run scored number. As Jeff mentioned, 13 straight games they've scored 3 or less.
Yeah.
They'll need 4 to win tonight. That's all the way to the backstop for Acuna, who's being pitched with care here in the 5th after this blast from Vaughn Grissom.
I think he knew he got that one. See if that's Michael and his new high five, or if they've had it for a while.
How about that rookie trio?
Yep.
Strider, Grissom, and Harris having some fun in 2022. Inside to Acuna, full count. Kelly?
They've been working on it, guys. They're still getting those final parts of the choreography to that handshake. You know what I mean?
What's that, a little butterfly at the end? Is that,
you know, something about the kids. You should you get on that Twitter thing, Jeff, and you'll figure it out. Yeah. So those two have a little.
Very smart of me to stay off that, Kel.
But they had a specific handshake, right? That when they played together, but they said they had to boost it up here in the big leagues. And they know I'm talking about them.
They got to upgrade.
Look at these guys. They know I'm talking about them.
You got to upgrade.
They got to upgrade when they're at the big leagues. Got to be a big league handshake.
That's right.
Up the middle. Williams makes the peg to first, and that's the 2nd out. And Kelly, our cameras caught Vaughn and Michael practicing before the game. What do you think?
Yep, that's what it started with, and this is where they're adding on now. And boy, yeah, it takes practice, doesn't it?
Seems very.
It's very intricate, very. But they all have their own individual handshakes with each teammate, right? That's what's so great about it. And well, we know Heredia, G knows every single one, right? He's the ultimate hype guy down here. So he'll have to figure out whatever that is eventually and add on.
Dansby another bullet and almost knocked down Joey Wendell. And Atlanta has another terrific inning with the long ball. Vaughn Grissom, a 440-foot moonshot in Miami, and the Braves lead by 3. Room for Ian Anderson, who has set down 11 of 12 batters. Now he leads 3-0 with the bottom of the order coming up.
And it just gave you 2 more runs, get that 3-0 lead, come right back out and shut him down.
Lewin Diaz, the Marlins' first baseman, is 0 for 1 tonight.
You know, you make all these plans for a doubleheader, knowing, you know, how much pitching you need, this and that. If you can get, you know, both your starters to get to that part of the bullpen where you feel comfortable with, it's a great day. And so far right now, it's on cue.
Get him through 6.
Yeah.
And then take your chances with the Braves relief corps, which was excellent in game 1 with 4 innings of 2-hit relief. That's out of play, and now a 2-2 count. Right into the shift. Dansby perfectly positioned, and Anderson has another ground ball out. 1 away in the Miami 5th inning. Peyton Burdick is the hitter. Six ground ball outs for Anderson through 4 1/3 innings. And why wouldn't you rack those up with this Atlanta infield defense?
Yep. Put it in play, let him go to work.
Off the netting and foul by Burdick. It's 0-1. He's always chirping, isn't he?
I mean, you're like, who are you yelling at?
If I had to guess, it's him.
Yeah.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Another ground ball to Dansby. Backhanded stab. Fast runner. And just in time, Burdick is out by a stride. 2 outs.
It's unbelievable how Dansby's just time clock in his head. Knows exactly the time he's got. Makes a perfect throw. Doesn't hurry it. And just gives him.
That truly is a gift for an infielder. Dansby's throws are so accurate too. He's got a very strong arm, especially when he can throw across his body moving toward left field. This one out of reach of Riley, and Luke Williams will have an extra base hit. He's around first. He's on his way to second. He's thinking about third. Here he comes as the ball bobbled by Rosario, and Luke Williams will stand at third with 2 outs.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he would have pulled up or not, but Rosario bobbled the ball down there in the left field corner. They had him shaded so far over in that gap. See how they score it. So they gave him a triple.
That'll be the first of those for Williams on the season. Joey Wendell hits with 2 outs. Little squibber. Off the side of the mound, Dansby can't make the play with a bare hand. An infield hit gives Miami its first run. Boy, that's a tough break. Anderson made the pitch he wanted to, but funky spin and the bounce off the hill cost Swanson a chance to get a fast runner. And Wendell puts it in play for his 24th RBI.
Yeah, like you said, that little bounce off the side of the mound really killed him, and where Ian's body took him over there was tough for him to get turned around.
So Brian Anderson represents the tying run for the Marlins. A run on 2 hits in the inning. All of this coming with 2 outs. Anderson has one of the Marlins' 4 hits. That was a first inning single. And he's just back from the injured list for Miami. Shoulder problems have caused him some more discomfort this year. Right to second. Grissom will step on the bag, and Anderson is out of the inning. He has pitched 5 and qualifies for the win. He enjoys a 3-1 lead.
Baseball is brought to you by the GMC Sierra Heavy Duty Truck. Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi. Unbeatable internet. Only from Xfinity. And by Synovus, the bank that helps you get there.
Braves have hit a couple of home runs in Game 2 tonight. One by Ronald, one by Vaughn Grissom. The Marlins just counter with a 2-out run on an infield hit. And as we head to the 6th inning, Braves MVP candidate Austin Riley will lead off. He's walked and struck out. A.J. Ladwig is back out for his 3rd big league inning. He's surrendered 2 runs and 3 hits so far.
Yeah, see if the Braves get 1 or 2 back right here.
Miami will have their 3, 4, 5 hitters up in their half of the 6th. There's a shot down the right field line. That's curling foul. That's 3 of them in the game.
Right down that. You always see them hit, and I look right down at the hitter every time, and that time Austin started to pull up, so you know it was just slicing enough.
Austin trying to keep a 5-game hitting streak alive here in Game 2. One more game left in this series tomorrow. The Braves have not announced their starting pitcher. The Marlins will send left-hander Braxton Garrett to the mound. Garrett 2-6 on the year. First pitch 1:40 Eastern Time. Braves Live kicks things off at 1 o'clock. Riley rips that into left field, but that's going to be caught. Burdick was able to track her down, and Riley a tough luck 0 for 2 here tonight. Matt Olson's your batter. Matt is 0 for 2, but he's our player resume feature brought to you by Indeed.
Yeah, last 8 games. OPS of 836. 2 home runs in the last 2 games down here at the Fish Tank. Continues to play stellar first base,
and I love it when hitters are line to line like Matt is. When he's going good. Homer in Game 1 went to left. Homer in the first game of the series to straightaway center, where this one is cracked. That one's got a chance. That one is gonna go. Matt Olson has homered in 3 straight games.
Well, that just shows you Chip, his power. 24 of them. Saw him go right center last night. The day game today, left center. And now here pretty much almost dead center, just left of it. And gets that run back. Gets you a 3-run lead.
3 homers hit by the Braves tonight, who've now hit 176 of them. So it's a 4-1 game for Contreras, who reached on an infield hit.
Flexing the power tonight. And that's been 3 home runs for the Braves, and they were all bombs. No cheapies.
Matt's homer, 422 feet. And as the Braves continue to build this lead, the way Ian Anderson is pitching, a chance to see him go maybe 2 more innings here tonight. As that's popped to short by Contreras, 2 outs, and Eddie Rosario the batter. Eddie is flied out, and he's hitting 2 double play. Mets still lead the Phillies 1-0. Jacob deGrom went 6. Mets are in their bullpen in another tight game with the 3rd place Phillies. If this score holds in Miami, we'll gain ground on somebody in the division.
And you just keep winning. That's all you can do.
Braves have 4 runs on 6 hits. The Marlins 1 run on 4 hits. 2 hits in the first for Miami, 2 in the 5th. There's a shot toward left. That one is near the line, and that one's fair and into the corner. Eddie Rosario serves one the other way. Another extra base hit for Atlanta tonight. 7th double. This one comes with 2 outs.
Love seeing him when he starts shooting the ball the other way. Just right down the line. Doesn't try to pull it. How many times we've seen this team with 2 outs strike for a run?
And that note, Jeff, is our Zaxby's indescribably good feature. It's remarkable what the Braves have done down to their last out, and even further down to their last strike.
See that 2 outs is where they've really, look at the OPS on that. 2 outs, 812, 69 long balls, 230 runs scored, 1 or 2 in the NL in all categories.
And to further illustrate that point, 100 runs scored, Jeff, with 2 strikes and 2 outs. Remarkable for the Braves, who lead 4-1. Good at bat by Ozuna his last time up. Let's see if he can do it again. He doubled to right center field and scored ahead of Vaughn Grissom's homer. That one is squibbed to short. Williams, playing in the shift, is there to make the play, and that will retire the side. Matt Olson is enjoying his trip to South Beach. He's homered in 3 straight games for the Braves. Atlanta enjoys a big lead. It's 4-1. Three, 4, 5 up for Miami in the 6th inning. Ian Anderson has pitched a great game. A run on 4 hits. He's only walked 1 batter. At one point, Anderson retired 13 of 14 hitters before a little bit of bad luck cost him a run last inning. He faces Jesus Aguilar, who's singled in 2 trips.
I'd love to see him be able to get through this inning at least. Give us 6 good, and then you feel like you can go to the bullpen and bring it home.
So what's different for Anderson in this game as opposed to what we've seen not just against the Mets but against the Angels, against the Nationals in recent times?
He's just been more efficient. 13 of 20 first pitch strikes. He's throwing his fastball 39 pitches, 22 strikes. So yes, he's been behind some, but at the same time when he has been, he's got back in the count.
That's well hit left center field, and that one's not coming back. Aguilar has homered in back-to-back games for Miami. So the ball is flying at the fish tank tonight. '15th home run for Jesus Aguilar. I would think this is the next step in the evolution for Ian Anderson, Jeff, is trying to find a way to navigate through a lineup a third time.
Yeah.
Numbers really do rise dramatically. First, second, then third time through the opposing batting order.
And majority of them are going to a certain extent, but I agree it's kind of limiting that.
So after the home run, the Braves bullpen goes to work. It's a 4-2 game, 6th inning. And J.J. Bleday, the 4th overall pick in the draft by the Marlins 3 years ago. Skies one out of play. Dylan Lee is the first man up here in game 2. Now it's 2-2. None of the homers have been cheapies tonight. Aguilar's went 439 feet to center, and Harris will put that away easily. There's the first out after the solo home run. And here's Charles LeBlanc, who walked his last time up. Excuse me, 104 is Ian Anderson's pitch count high this year. 93 tosses tonight. Some stress in the first inning, but not much after that.
Yes.
He went around. And Anderson takes care of LeBlanc via strikeout. That is number 4, and 2 quick outs after the solo home run.
Yep, got him going for sure. 2 outs here. Get 1 more out.
Yeah, and leave the game feeling good with the lead in a well-pitched game. Anderson's given up 2 runs on 5 hits. That's all tonight. Anderson tried to complete 6 innings for the 8th time in his 22 starts. Long first, but as has been the case with Ian, sometimes if you don't get him early, you might not. Stallings wants to get on any way he can and give Lewin Diaz a chance to bat, representing the tying run. High hopper right at Riley. Austin's got that. Way to go, Ian. That was a terrific performance. 6 innings, 101 pitches, and he enjoys a 4-2 lead. Next start should come against Atlanta at Truist Park when we start a 4-game series on Monday night. But all eyes in Braves country ought to be on Ian Anderson. Jeff, after a very disappointing game against New York, he answered the challenge against the Marlins today.
Yeah, I definitely think he took strides in the right direction. Only 1 walk. That's what we saw versus the Diamondbacks that day. And for him, hopefully he can continue to build off that.
Well, after the first inning, when it was such a struggle for Ian to get ahead in the count, he got out of that inning with a lot of pitches, but then started throwing strike 1, strike 2, and that made his changeup start to dance and dart. The Marlins went 2 for 9 on Ian's put-away pitch here in Game 2 of the doubleheader. So now the Braves will try to add on to a 4-2 lead. Vaughn Grissom shoots one to left side, and he's got another multi-hit game.
That's one thing you love right now. The Braves have been able, each time the Marlins have scored, to answer back. Before we get to Michael Harris, we'll take a quick message from Landmark.
Well, the 8-9 hitters have been awfully good for Atlanta. Look at those rankings. Extra base hits, RBIs, runs scored. And when the Braves, Jeff, as you know, are at their best, 8 and 9 feeds 1 and 2 on the lineup card.
Yeah, that's pretty strong. We've seen those numbers from 1 through 3, 4 through 6, 7 through 9, and of course, when you have to worry about the bottom part of the lineup like you do the top, it's not easy as a pitcher to navigate through a lineup like that.
See if Grissom thinks about doing some running here. Not with that pitch, as Michael ended up swinging one-handed. 0-1 your count. Michael's got a 4-game hit streak he hopes to keep alive. He's 0 for 2 here in Game 2. Sharply hit, and Williams to second for 1. Another long throw will be too late.
What a play.
They get the leading runner. Harris's good speed keeps and that out of a double play, and now Acuna bats with a man aboard and 1 out. Ronald's had a good night. A first pitch solo home run started the game. Hope you'll stick around for the stretch. That's presented by Synovus. Lauren and Nick are standing by in our Atlanta studios.
It's like that's might be it.
3 1/3 innings for A.J. Ladwig in his first major league game. He's given up 3 runs on 2 homers, 1 by Olson, 1 by Grissom, and the Marlins go deeper into their bullpen with the Braves up 4-2 in the 7th. Wide for pitching of all kinds. They went to the independent leagues and went to the High Point Rockers and found Huascar Brazoban, who is pitching for the 2nd time in this series. Brazoban will run into Ronald Acuna Jr. Huascar has had a good run in his 6 games with the big league club this year.
Yeah, he's got his work cut out for him with the top of the lineup coming up. Braves tonight, 11 balls hit at 95 miles per hour plus. 3 of them gone for homers, a double, and 1 single.
Good pitch, straighten him up inside corner. It's 0-2. Marlins bullpen's been impressive this year. They're averaging over a strikeout per inning pitched. Pitching has not been their problem, generally speaking. It has been offense, or the lack thereof, for Don Mattingly's team, and that was something they
thought they took a little bit of care of this offseason. Just quite hadn't worked out for them.
Ineffectiveness and the injury to Jazz Chisholm has certainly hurt Miami. Braves have dealt with their share of offensive injuries too, but they've gotten Ronald back in a good spot. He's 1 for 3 tonight. And he shoots that ball to right field. So first and second with 1 out. As Acuna has a multi-hit game, 17 hits on the road trip.
Yeah, a great piece of hit. Just stayed inside it nice and shot it to right field. Flip that over, give Dansby and Austin now a chance to tack on. Said that this Marlins team has been offensively challenged. You feel like if you could put 1 or 2 more on, you might be able to knock them out.
Braves lead 4-2. They have 9 hits. Ball 1. Brazoban did not pitch competitively in 2019 or 2020. And after his stint in the independent leagues, he's in a big league bullpen. Looks like he has a pretty good changeup.
Yeah, it's kind of what he's been getting the guys on. Got Ronald looking on it.
Good stop by Stallings. That keeps Michael at second base. 2-1. Driven toward right. Anderson retreats. That'll be deep enough to advance Harris, you figure. And throw will come into second base. Dansby flies out to right. And Braves runners are at the corners for Austin Riley and 2 men out.
He did not miss that ball by much.
So here we are, 2 outs, runner in scoring position. Austin Riley looking for his first hit.
And last time Austin smoked it, just lined it to left field, right to Verdict.
And the Braves 69 homers with 2 outs coming into tonight's play. We'll settle for a single from Austin, who's sitting on 74 runs batted in. Mets and Phillies are in the 8th inning. It's still New York 1, Philadelphia nothing. Here the Braves lead 4-2. That does not look like a very comfortable pickoff move.
What gave that away?
It's like a shot put over there.
Maybe he was trying to get him when he was coming up. Yeah, that did not look like he wanted to do that.
Acuna's running, and a bullet foul between Harris and Ron Washington. Every passing day, Ronald looks more and more like himself. He's had a great road trip at the plate. He made a sensational defensive play in the 8th inning of Game 1. He's been stealing bases. He's been hitting the ball the other way. Looks like he's going to have a fantastic final 2 months of regular season play for the Braves as he's joined the double-digit home run club with a first inning blast tonight. The pitch. And a nice stop by Stallings. That saved a run. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Acuna runs again and fouled off again.
I'll tell you what, that has been his pitch. That changeup seems to have some good depth to it. He's getting a lot of swing and misses and foul balls on it.
The longer the at bat goes, the better you like your chances.
You see the live arm though, 99 on that pitch.
Ooh, keep an eye on that. The Braves saw that. And George Poulos is out to talk to Ronald. Eddie Perez is out to help translate. If there's any problem at all, you know the Braves won't hesitate to get Acuna out of the game. Three or four foul balls in this sequence. Wonder if Acuna is cramping up a little bit. And he's not moving on a 1-2 count here after the Braves training staff checked him out. He's not. And Riley rolls over. And something Acuna has said with the knee, some days it feels like it's 100%, some days it just feels odd.
Yeah, look, until he gets a full off season and becomes spring training next year, that's when it'll feel healthy again. To me, 100%. But yeah, there's going to be days where it doesn't feel good, or like that, you steal 2 or 3 times, you know, it might be a little sore for a second.
And again, the challenge for him playing on the artificial surface here in Miami, as good as it might be. In the dirt. That's the one great thing, or one of the other great things about the designated hitter rule. If you want to keep Ronald's bat in the lineup, you could DH him in tomorrow's game. But still some work to be done tonight in the 7th. Braves up 4-2. Atlanta's hit 3 homers. That's in the dirt. And Austin Riley will take a walk. And the Braves have the bases loaded, and Matt Olson's coming up. All Matt has done is homer in 3 straight games. Another one here would put this game out of reach, you'd figure, and Stottlemyre on his way out for a visit.
That ball wasn't even close. That ball spiked. They go back to the 6th inning. Got a changeup, stayed through it, dead center. 3 straight games for Matt Olson.
Acuna out in the artificial turf between the 2nd and 3rd base bag. He keeps pulling up and adjusting that sleeve on the right knee. While the Marlins continue to talk things over, the Braves have the bases loaded. 2 outs, leading 4-2, and here's a quick word from Delta.
Delta, proud to be the official airline of the 2021 World Champion Atlanta Braves.
All eyes on Acuna at second base. Matt Olson digs in with the bases full of Braves. Matt has 4 career grand slams, his last April against the Minnesota Twins. He shoots one right at Ronald, leading off second. The Braves will be in business here. Oh. And fouled away 98. It's 0-2. Along top of the 7th. Little pop into shallow center. Blade can't get there. Acuna's coming around 3rd. He will score standing up rather gingerly. And Matt Olson comes through. He's got a 3 RBI night. Blade couldn't catch up to it, and the Braves have a 6-2 lead.
Mel hit them sometimes where they're not. You hit 3 long balls, and this one you kind of dropped in there. And really a huge hit. Blade's playing so deep. As you can see, Snit talking to Ronald right here, I'm sure, telling him, you know what, take it. I bet he's telling him you're going to take the rest of the night off. Take a look here. As you see this ball drop, you can see Ronald running.
Favoring something. So Atlanta extends the lead. It's 6-2, more two-out offensive magic. This time from Matt Olson, who's driven in 3 of the Braves' 6 runs.
And again, when your team's offensively challenged, just even that one hit right there now, all of a sudden 4 runs down, feels like 20.
And with the Braves bullpen locked and loaded for the final 3 innings, it won't be easy at all for Miami. With the pitching change and all this activity on the base paths, it's been a 20-minute top of the 7th.
Well, the good news is you're going to the bullpen, so you don't mind a pitcher. You don't have a pitcher sitting in the dugout, and you'll take all the runs you can get right here.
So the Braves, with 6 runs in Game 2, have now scored 5 or more in 18 of 38 games since July 1st. Two runs on 3 hits in the inning, and all 3 for the Braves catcher. You made the point earlier. One of the great advantages of a bullpen game, it's tough for an offense to get into a rhythm. The disadvantage is you might find a guy or two that's having a bad night.
Yep.
And the Braves have scored 4 runs off A.J. Ladwick, 1 so far here off Brassabon, and a 3-1. Here's how to play full count.
Now, when you get behind like this, I don't care how good of stuff you have as a hitter, you hunt for that ball out over the plate.
Two-hit, 2-run game for Acuna as he looks on, and that will retire the side. The Braves send 7 men to the plate, 2 of them score, and they extend the lead. It's a 6-2 Atlanta game, a 3 RBI night for Matt Olson. It's time to stretch. To the home 7th inning, Ian Anderson with 6 innings of 2-run ball. And Kelly Crow, the first man out of the bullpen, is left-hander Dylan Lee. What do you got?
Yeah, well, the last time we saw Dylan Lee, of course, Wednesday in Boston, and uncharacteristically gave up those 3 runs in just 2/3 innings. And that was his 3rd day in a row of pitching, which is something that, you know, he said he's still learning, really. And this is a big test for him this year, as much as he's being used. But now he did have 2 full days off, right? We had the off day, and then yesterday he was completely down, and that is something where he goes, mentally, when you can turn it off completely as well as physically, he said he felt like a whole new guy coming to the ballpark today, guys. So, but he felt that arm on Wednesday in Boston, just heavy is the word he used. He just really couldn't get, you know, life on that fastball like he's used to, but we're certainly hoping to see something different here tonight.
With Lewin Diaz leading off for the Marlins. And Dylan misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
You got to remember, in the minor leagues, when you're coming up, no matter really the score of the game, you're trying to win the ball game. Don't get me wrong, Chip, but you're going to pitch on this day, usually 2 days later. It's mapped out. When you get up here, you got to be ready every single day for the most part. And so I think that's the learning curve.
And I love what Kelly said. It's not just the physical part, it's the mental reset.
Absolutely, every single day.
There's a pretty pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes for the Miami first baseman, who's 0 for 2. Lewin Diaz played as a dead pull hitter. Swing and a miss. Dylan Lee gets his first man via strikeout. 5 Marlins have whiffed in the game, 4 of them by Ian Anderson. And that's out number 1.
Great off-speed pitch, bottom part of the zone. It's an easy swing and miss.
Burdick has played Pepper with Dansby at short twice, so he's 0 for 2. And this one popped out toward Heredia in right. He just checked in for Ronald. Lee has his second out quickly. And Luke Williams, the scheduled hitter, he's one of 2 Marlins who have scored today. He tripled to left and came home on Joey Wendell's infield hit in the Miami 5th. Seven pitches, 5 strikes from the young Braves left-hander Dylan Lee.
Looks pretty sharp tonight.
Yep.
A couple days did some good.
Lined right to Riley. That is out number 3. A 1-2-3 7th. Braves in command of game 2 of the double dip. It's been a fun night in Miami. Game 2, the Braves have hit 3 home runs. They enjoy a 6-2 lead. Atlanta has 10 hits. Eddie Rosario has one of them, a 6th inning double. To highlight his 1 for 3 night at the plate. Oscar Brazoban back out to work in the 8th inning for the Marlins. He's their 3rd pitcher. Lifted left side, Miami in a shift, and there will be no play right off the top of the netting and into the stands. One ball, 1 strike for Rosario, who will be followed by Ozuna and Vaughn Grissom, who's had another 2-hit game, including a home run tonight. That paints a corner. It's 2-2. Really impressed with the consistency the Braves have been putting the ball in play since game 1 against the Red Sox. Atlanta tonight has struck out just 7 times. And have 10 hits.
Yeah,
this is what they've been doing.
They've made these Marlins hitters work. I'll tell you that. The more pitches they've thrown, like we said, we've seen them. They've made a mistake.
Little tapper. It's foul off the foot. And Rosario will stay alive. Final in New York. Jacob deGrom outduels Aaron Nola, a 1-0 final at Citi Field. So the Braves have a chance to gain ground on the Phillies. If they can win this game, they'd remain 5.5 behind the Mets, with 4 coming up with New York on Monday night. Man, I can't wait to get back to Truist Park for that series.
It's really the whole week. You got the team ahead of you, and then the World Series rematch coming in for the weekend. Going to be a lot of fun.
Snitker-a-palooza, we're going to call that series with the Astros. As Rosario down, there's that changeup, and Brazoban's got a good one. That's how the top of the 8th starts. 1 up, 1 down, a strikeout.
And before we get to the next batter, let's take a quick message from Landmark.
To celebrate our 40th anniversary, Landmark announces 40 days to save. Nobody beats the Giant. Nobody.
Always the best deal. Always.
Ozuna has a double and a run scored. Vaughn Grissom brought him home with a 440-foot home run to left center. Miami will have the top of the order coming up in the home 8th. They're down 4 runs. Braves just continued to play dominant baseball here at Lone Depot Park. Braves trying to win their 11th game out of the last 13 played in this domed stadium in Miami. And we've got one more trip down to Miami, the final 3 games of the regular season. Brazoban's not in a big hurry. Ozuna trying to stare the young Miami right-hander down here in the 8th inning.
There's that off-speed pitch.
Did he go? Yes, he did. Ozuna is down on a check swing, and Brazoban has retired 3 straight Braves via strikeout. 2 away.
2 pitches, 3-1 and 3-2. Balls in the dirt. That's sometimes where you get an account and you're trying to do too much in a certain situation.
As we talked about earlier in the game, the 8-9 spot has come through for the Braves again tonight. Grissom and Harris have scored 2 of the Braves' 6 runs. Juan's knocked in 2 with a home run. His second in the big leagues. Also picked up a 7th inning single, so a multi-hit game for Grissom, who's now scored a run in 4 straight games to start his major league career.
They got a backup slider and did not miss that. Got all of it all the way up into the Budweiser Pavilion. Second deck.
Francourland, they used to call that here in Miami.
Yep.
No balls, 2 strikes. You know, watching Vaughn and that follow through on his swing. We talked about it in between commercial breaks earlier. It reminds me so much of Andrelton Simmons' follow through. He was such a great shortstop in his time with the Braves. He's that straight up, very erect posture, and then that open follow through.
Just long arms, lengthy.
'91 at bats at Double-A, and Grissom is rolling as a big league hitter. Check swing, punched foul at third. Atlanta's making Brazoban work. He's about to throw his 45th pitch. Braxton Garrett for Miami in the series wrap-up. Braves will announce their starter for Game 4 after the game tonight. Kyle Muller won the afternoon game today. Ian Anderson's in line to pick up victory number 10. Atlanta leads it 6-2. Braves just keep on battling.
Yep.
With 2 strikes. Love it.
Love the approach of these hitters.
Base is empty for Grissom, and he'll see another pitch. Love it. All this stuff getting filed away for the young Braves infielder. He keeps playing like this. When Ozzie comes back, the Braves will have a lot of fun figuring out how to put together their offensive lineup card and defensive matchups. Can't wait for Ozzie to return. Did he go? Nope. Full count. And Grissom a swing and a miss after a long battle. Brazoban strikes out the side in the 8th, but the Marlins are running out of outs. To Atlanta. How about this call, Jeff? Dylan Lee out for a 2nd inning.
I love it. Why not? He was very economical that 1st inning. Bring him back out. Look, he throws this one. You know you're going to get the day off tomorrow. Speaking from an offensive standpoint, we're talking about Braves seen 147 pitches tonight, 4.2 per plate appearance. Have worked these Marlins bullpen.
Joey Wendell, the first place hitter, leads off. He's got an infield hit and an RBI. I hope this is an approach the Braves can keep up when we get back home for that homestand.
Yep.
Because again, we're going to run into A+ pitching with the Mets and the Astros, as will they against the Braves staff. We'll see how Snit lines them up. Max Fried currently on the 7-day concussion protocol IL. It's hoped he'll be able to return at some point against the Mets. You've got Strider, you've got Morton, got Kyle Wright potentially lined up in whatever order the Braves choose beginning Monday.
Like I said, I would think when New York comes to town on Monday, there's going to be some payback.
Yeah.
Some of these Braves minds after up there. You're going to want to do some work from the offensive part, but also that pitching staff's going to want some revenge.
Joey Wendell 1 for 3 and 3 for 8 overall in the series. And a swing and a miss. Filthy pitch from Dylan Lee earns him strikeout number 2.
Now you can tell these two off days, as Kelly was talking about, for Dylan Lee, has done a lot of wonders. His stuff is sharp. His ball's got movement on it tonight. It's one thing I love that they do in the minor leagues now on a lot of, different organizations do it, but the Braves start doing it a lot where most of these guys will throw 2 innings down there. They want them to be able to do that when they come up for certain situations like this today.
Brian Anderson singled in the first, and Lee pulled a string on him. And it's worth mentioning, anytime you see any young player coming to the major leagues, 2 years ago they didn't have a season.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to work at their alternate sites and the training camps and the like, but that's not the same as game competition and game action.
No, because at the end of the day, you're still facing your guys, so you don't have that adrenaline going that you would in a regular season game.
I mean, it's work, right? But
yeah,
it's
for sure, but not
the same. And when you see guys like Lee and Muller come up for the Braves, just as a small example tonight, think about that. Take a year off from your job, whatever it might be, and then come back and perform at the highest level on the brightest stage.
Not easy.
And I say that not just for the Braves young players, but for all of them in our industry. Pretty remarkable what these kids have been able to do. And a swing and a miss. Dylan Lee has struck out 3 men. Anderson's 1 for 4. Aguilar is 2 for 3 and is the final 8th inning hope for the Marlins.
Now you can see that curveball going right down. Gets a swing and a miss. That's a great thing. Sometimes you see Dylan throw 22, 23 pitches in 1 inning. Here he's got 17. And he's gotten 5 outs. 3 of them via the K.
Aguilar 2 for 3 is the designated hitter. Braves are doing what good teams are supposed to do. They are capitalizing on a struggling offensive opponent. They won game 1 of the series 4-3. They won 5-2 earlier today. They're leading 6-2 in the nightcap. The first ever split doubleheader here in Miami at Lone Depot Park. The offense powered by home runs from Acuna, Grissom, and Matt Olson, who's blasted a homer in 3 straight games. All that's left in this game is to find out how Ronald's knee is, what's troubling him. He had a balky start between first and second when Austin Riley was up. and has been taken out of the game. And I'm sure Kelly will get all that sound from the Braves locker room for you on Braves Live after we wrap up Game 3. Lee looking for a perfect 2-inning outing. And he's got it. He just struck out the side. Dylan Lee with 4 strikeouts in 2 perfect innings, the 7th and the 8th. And the Braves are rolling in South Florida. 6-2 your score. We head to the 9th. Game for the Braves. Ian Anderson and Dylan Lee. 8 innings, combined 5 hits, 8 strikeouts. Dylan, Jeff, was as overpowering as we've seen all year.
Yeah. 4 strikeouts, 3 on the curves and 1 on the fastball. Outstanding job by Dylan. I'll tell you, with him having the towel wrapped up on his arm, he might go out for a third. I don't see anybody throwing down in the bullpen.
Well, think about it. The Braves used Iglesias and Jansen earlier today. They used Kenley Jansen in Game 1, so you know they'd like to stay away from Kenley tonight if they could. So we'll see how Snit works the 9th. Michael Harris leads off. Anthony Bender is the 4th Marlins pitcher in this bullpen game. And a shot hit toward right. Anderson on the run will make a chest-high catch. Harris hit it hard, but he's retired. And that's the first out. So Guillermo Heredia, who took over for Ronald, will stand in for the first time. But first, a quick word from Racetrack.
Fuel up like the Freeze does with whatever gets you going at Racetrack.
This is one reason why Guillermo's on the team. He can come in late in the game as a defensive replacement if he needs a breather or there's a nagging injury. He can give you a good at bat first and foremost, and then he can catch everything and play all 3 outfield spots. He has not had a ton of playing time, but he's hit 3 homers this year for the Braves. Well, there's your answer, Jeff. Kirby Yates is up and throwing. Yates will appear in his 3rd game as a Brave. Hope you enjoyed Kelly's chat with him in this series. What a great story it is.
Remarkable
for Yates to come back. A swing and a miss takes care of Heredia. That's out number 2 in the 9th inning. I remember Kirby's brother Tyler pitched for the Braves. Was chatting with Kirby in the all-important coffee line before Game 1 of the doubleheader today. Tyler, in his retirement, is a police officer in Kauai, Hawaii.
Wow. And he's a former teammate of mine. Good arm. Nice sinker. Good for him.
Two outs for Dansby, who's got a 1-for-4 game. And is something troubling Mr. Bender? The Marlins want to come out and check on him. They spotted something. he can't continue. So Bender has to leave after striking out Guillermo Heredia. And the Marlins have to go to the bullpen yet again, this time in the top of the ninth. Will come out of the Miami bullpen. He'll have as much time as he needs to get loosed after Anthony Bender left with an apparent injury. After he threw the last pitch to Guillermo Heredia, Jeff, it looked like he was trying to flex his forearm on his pitching hand.
You can see it right here. He walks in this right here. You'll see him kind of move it around.
And then Don Mattingly and Mel Stottlemyre Jr. came out and talked with Bender. You can see him trying to get that forearm or elbow loose, and Don Mattingly was talking to the infield as he made the pitching change and said, in essence, he said the forearm was stiff.
Yeah.
And he can't risk that. After all, Bender was just back off the injured list. He missed 64 games with some back problems. But now a forearm problem will chase him from the game, and veteran Dylan Floro will come in to try to get another out for the Marlins here in the ninth inning.
Yeah, and you know it's not, you know, you got to be safe on that, but the last thing Don wanted to do is have to go back to his pen to get another person. But it's amazing too how just that little forearm thing, you know, they see it. They can recognize that stuff. Hope everything's okay.
Yeah, you hate to see a pitcher get hurt. And Floro will continue his warm-ups as we continue on here in the top of the ninth inning. Again, the road trip finale is tomorrow for the Braves. We have a chance to go 7-4. Would you have taken 7-4 after a 1-4 start?
Yeah. Well, we'd said after that last game Sunday in the ninth inning, Chip, we were talking how you got 2 in Boston and 4 here, and you really had to bear down. I said you wanted to see a 4-2. Well, you're going to have a chance to possibly make it 6-0 this week.
So Floro continues his work. Again, the Mets held off the Phillies, who had runners at second and third in the ninth inning. But New York behind Jacob deGrom, Seth Lugo, and Edwin Diaz beat the Phillies 1-0. 2 one-run games in New York, and they'll play another one tomorrow.
Aaron Nola on the other side took the tough loss. Complete game. Went 8 innings. Gave up 1 run in the first inning, and that was it.
And that just tells you about Jacob deGrom. Again, the Mets don't score much for him at all, but you give him one, he's awfully tough.
Yeah.
And we will, in all likelihood, see deGrom when the Braves and Mets match up starting on Monday night. So Floro is ready to go. Dansby Swanson will dig in against him.
Now we're ready.
Dylan Floro gets ahead of the Braves shortstop. It's 0-1. Braves sitting on 69 wins, need 1 more for 70 and a 5-game winning streak. Just past 10 o'clock Eastern time. Could be a very productive day. Braves win, they'll pick up another game on the Phillies and move 4.5 games ahead of the third place Philadelphia club. Braves at the moment 5.5 games behind the Mets. As that's high. One and two. Little pop fly into right, but right at Anderson, and that retires the Braves in the top of the 9th inning. Kirby Yates will come on with a 4-run lead, it appears. The Braves are trying to sweep a doubleheader against the Marlins and enjoy a 6-2 lead. In Miami, about to win their 3rd straight game in this series against the Marlins and their 5th straight overall. We head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Atlanta leads 6-2 here in game 2 of the doubleheader. Kirby Yates will try to get the final 3 outs. Before we tell you about Kirby's season so far, Kelly, do you have an update on Ronald Acuna Jr. late?
We did just get an update from the Braves PR staff that Ronald Acuna Jr. was removed from tonight's game as a precaution with right knee soreness. He is listed as day-to-day.
Yeah, so I mean, look, I think we all agreed watching it, that's what we figured. Wouldn't be surprised to see him get a day off tomorrow with a quick turnaround. So hopefully it's just get a little bit of rest and be ready to go on Monday.
And that's the challenge of playing the Marlins as well as the Braves have played in this park. It's not natural grass anymore.
Yeah.
And even though the artificial turf here is great, it's the
Still hard.
softest stuff that they make that isn't natural. You're right.
It's not grass.
It's not the regular grass.
I think this is a good spot to get Yates in. I was talking with Eddie Perez yesterday about him, and he said, you know, if you watch him, his velocity's there, which is great. You just haven't seen the movement yet for him, the sink that you're used to seeing. And I think, like anything, that's going to come with time as his arm starts to build back up.
We talk all the time about pitchers pitching in low leverage situations. I don't know that there really is such a thing in a major league game. With a 4-run lead.
Especially when you're coming back from what he came back. You know, when they signed him, you know, they signed him with the thought process of anything you got this year was great, but we want him available next year.
Two close misses to J.J. Bleday. It's 2 balls, no strikes. There are a lot of guys I've talked to who have had Tommy John surgery, and they'll say, look, the velocity's good. The ball feels great coming out of the hand, but those little tiny muscle twitches that make the ball dance just haven't regenerated quite yet.
Now you can see like that perfect example, 2 kind of running away. That second one was on the plate, I thought, close. So he tries to make an adjustment and pulls it. So it's frustrating for a guy like him that's always had good control. But you understand after what he's been through too, it's not easy.
And again, you can't replicate that in the bullpen. You can't really replicate that in minor league rehabs because it's not the major leagues.
Yeah.
So 3-0 for Bleday. The Marlins need base runners.
There you go.
If Miami fails to score 2 runs in this inning, they'll be the first team since the '79 Cubs to go 14 straight games with 3 or fewer runs as an offense.
That's unreal, isn't it? Hard to believe.
They have but 5 hits tonight. But there's a promising start. A leadoff walk for J.J. Bleday. And Charles LeBlanc is the batter. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. There's a first pitch strike. That was the story of the game, I thought, for Ian Anderson tonight. After the first inning, Jeff figured it out, got ahead, and took care of business.
24 pitches in that first inning. He was able to get out of it, and then after that, went to work.
That ball bounced up, and Contreras couldn't control it. That will roll into the Marlins dugout. And Bleday gets a free base. That takes away the double play chance, and it's an even count.
That's one you kind of got to move over and get in front. That was spiked enough.
Yates and Contreras, a little signal confusion. Do we have a problem with PitchCom? Nope, Yates is going to the card here. One on, nobody out. Braves have a 4-run lead. There we go. That ball was dancing.
Well, I think sometimes you got Stallings on deck for Kirby. Feels obviously a lot more comfortable with right-handers, Chip, with that good two-seamer he's got and the changeup. So maybe getting a couple right-handers here will get him going in the right direction.
Chopper hit toward third. Riley, backhand pick on a short hop. That was fancy. No advance to the runner, and there's the first out.
Beautiful play. That's why they do all those drills, backhands. Gets it. You see him. You see how he went through that ball? Look at that. That's what you see with Wash when they do that on the knee, going right through it like that. Keeps his head on and then throws a strike to first.
Riley had a super game in the first game of our doubleheader today, and that was a fine play in the ninth. Now Stallings is up. Braves are 2 outs away from their 5th straight win. When you think about the possibilities for the Braves in August, September, and hopefully deep into October with this new look bullpen, Jansen, Iglesias, Yates from the right side as all potential closers, McHugh and Jackson Stevens as long men, and then Minter, Matzik, and Dylan Lee. You get the lead after 5 in the playoffs, it might be night time for the opponents.
What you're hoping too is the starters get on a nice roll like they were back in June, where they were getting deep into the games. Talking to Rick Kranitz about it, that's what he was saying. It really takes that pressure off the bullpen, and then the bullpen's well rested.
One ball, one strike. Had been the issue for the Braves coming into play today. The starters had only gone 40 innings in the first 8 games of the road trip. 5-inning average. Today Muller went 5 in his second big league start this year. Anderson went 6 tonight. Hope to have a happy Braves Live post-game wrap-up. That'll come your way after Yates gets 2 more outs, we hope. And now a full count for the Miami catcher. Braves will run into another left-handed starter tomorrow afternoon. Braxton Garrett is 2-6 on the year. And the Braves, as you know, wear out left-handed starting pitchers. They're 27-12 against them after they beat Luzardo in Game 1. They can put it in play. Kirby, the payoff. Bounced up there. It's ball 4. So 2 walks in the 9th inning. And Brian Snitker is going to make his way to the mound. And he's going to make the call as Kirby Yates walks 2 of the first 3 he faces in the 9th. On and 1 out. Raisel Iglesias will try to pick up his first save as a Brave. He's 16 out of 20 so far. All those saves came as a member of the Angels. He will have Lewin Diaz and then Peyton Burdick coming up for the Marlins. 2 on, 1 out, and the Braves in front by 4.
Yeah, with the team up 6-2, save opportunity now for Iglesias. Well, Kirby Yates is going to have more chances to get himself right, but when the team's played like this, he said you owe it to the team to get the win. That's a perfect chance here to get the first 3 of the series.
Diaz 0 for 3. He's flied out, grounded out, and struck out his last time. Braves used Iglesias and Jansen in Game 1 earlier today. Both went an inning. High fly ball toward right. No carry to it. Heredia will handle that one easily, and no advance of the runners. And a throw back to second, and Swanson ran into the runner at second base. J.J. Bleday, an all Vanderbilt collision at second. Everybody's all right. 2 are out.
Hey, what a throw by Heredia. Right on the money. And you're not going to take a chance here and get thrown out of third, but look, the throw obviously took Dansby right into him. And he takes his Vandy buddy down to the ground.
So 1 more out to get. It's Peyton Burdick. There's 0 for 3 and left for the Marlins. 2 ground outs to short. He too is flied out to right as well. No swing, ball 1. One more out. The Braves guarantee themselves a winning road trip. 3 cities this time of year, not easy. Over the blow. Garrett Cooper is lurking in the on-deck circle. And we've mentioned several times in this series how effective he's been against the Braves.
Yeah, you don't want to bring the tying run up with him. Even though he has been in a slide, still one of the 2 guys in the lineup right now with the most power. Finish this game off right here.
Ball 3. 3-1 to the Marlins' 8th place hitter. There's no such thing as an easy win in the major leagues. Need to make a pitch here. 3 balls and a strike. But he couldn't. The Marlins have loaded the bases on walks in the 9th inning. This one comes with 2 outs. And the Braves do have to face Garrett Cooper.
You know, I did tell you today I wondered if we would see Iglesias this game. Just because he pitched first game. Not saying you can't do it. We've seen plenty of guys do it, but you always wonder how they're going to respond, you know, pitching 6 hours later.
Garrett Cooper is 13 for 31 against the Braves this year. He has 1 homer. He's driven in 10 runs. He represents the tying run with 2 outs in the ninth. And a good start, strike 1. Cooper's 1 for 2 against Iglesias head to head. He's got 2 strikes left. Little flare. Grissom's got it, and the Braves have swept the doubleheader.
Well, it got a little interesting at the end, but the guy can do it with the bat and then makes a beautiful play to finish off this game. What a job. A doubleheader win today. Really, you love the matchups from an offensive standpoint, and credit Kyle Muller in game 1, Ian Anderson in game 2. Ian Anderson came back and gave you 6 good innings tonight after kind of laboring that first inning, and then the bullpen did the rest. And Matt Olson hits his 3rd straight homer in 3 games, and then that 2 RBI single to, really blow this game open to 6-2.
So Ian Anderson picks up his 10th win. Tommy Nance suffers the loss for Miami, and the Braves keep on a rolling. They've won 5 games in a row. They're 70-46. They're 5.5 games behind the Mets, with 1 more game to be played here tomorrow, beginning at 1 o'clock Eastern on Valley Sports Southeast. Long day of baseball. Special thanks to our great crew in Atlanta. For Kelly Kroll and Jeff Francoeur, I'm Chip Carey. Stick around. Braves Live presented by Xfinity is next. Braves will win 6-2 tonight.